fight? Are we still in love? What if they alright, baby? Can we still try? Tell me that we'll be fine. Are we still in love?
Hi everyone, welcome again to another installment of the Black Bonnet Series. This is episode 8. Again, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting, for sharing, for commenting, for buying some merch. Again, if you haven't bought some merch, click down below in the link and purchase your BB bonnets and BB hoodies. By the way, if you're wondering why my background looks a bit different, I am currently in a hotel for undisclosed reasons, but let's jump right into today's episode. Today's episode is a little bit different from from my previous episodes. I do want to say this before we jump right into it. This is a trigger warning. Please take the time that you need. If this episode is a bit too heavy, I completely understand. If you're a female identifying person, please take your time to watch this episode. And if you are a male identifying person, don't you dare log out. This is for you. If you log out, you're a punk. You need to hear this message because it is vital in changing the behaviors we have towards Black women. Okay. So today's title is called It Be Your Own Homeboys. It Be Your Own Homeboys. And today's episode, I wanted to make this episode because one of the many issues that face Black women is sexual assault. And it's the violence that is, perpetuated towards Black women, because in a previous episode, I did speak about how Black men perceive Black women as needing less protection and more sexually aware compared to, their other female counterparts, like other races, which is not true whatsoever. But that belief system sadly affects Black women, and there's a higher rate of sexual violence that is perpetuated towards us, and we are less likely to be believed because of these stereotypes. So today we're going to try to correct those issues, and we're going to talk about it. So let's dive right in. For one, I felt it was important to talk about this because for me personally, I have never met a woman, a Black woman, a woman of color, who hasn't been sexually assaulted. And I started to think, I'm like, wait a minute, why do I know so many victims, but yet my male friends always say, oh, I don't know any assaulters? How come I can list a plethora of females that have been sexually assaulted, but my male friends, like any Black dude I meet, he's like, oh, nah, I don't know any dude who would do that. I don't know any dude who would. Well, obviously, you must know a dude that would do that, because the ratio doesn't add up. The ratio does not make sense at all. So let's talk about it. Okay, number one, 6 in 10 Black women report being subjected to coercive sexual conduct by age 18. Black women report experiencing sexual harassment in the workplace 3 times more than their white female counterparts. 3 out of 4 sexual assaults are never reported. Those that do report it, 75% of them report retaliation. And that's just sexual assault. We are 3 times more likely to face sexual assault in our workplace, in our place of comfort, in our place of trying to get this bag, compared to a white woman. Only 2 to 8% of rapes are falsely reported, and that is the same percentage for other felonies. So only out of, let's say 2,000 rape cases, right? Only 2 to 8% of that could be false. So for anyone that tries to victim blame or say she's lying, only 2 to 8% of that could be false. So what I'm telling you is that 92% of the time, they're not lying. If you guys went to school you guys took stats, did any class, any form of math, you would understand that 92% is a high percentage, baby girl. That's close to 100. But yet, I don't know anyone that would rape someone. I don't know anyone that would sexually assault someone. Yes, you do. Because chances are, if you don't know someone, it's probably you. Research also shows that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. Of women who are raped, over half, 51%, are raped by an intimate partner, and 40% are raped by an acquaintance. RAINN, R-A-I-N-N, estimates that out of every 1,000 sexual assault cases, only 230 are reported to the police. For every Black woman who reports rape, at least 15 do not report. Now let me jump right into why Black women tend to not report rape or sexual assault attacks. Black women survivors are coping with gender-based and race-based trauma. That's one of the reasons. Number 2, since slavery, sexual violence and stereotypes have been used as tools of oppression and have devalued Black women in our society. That right there is one of the main reasons why Black women, we don't feel comfortable to speak up. Because besides from the trauma and the fear that we face, and one thing I will say that when it comes to sexual assault, because it's such a traumatic experience, psychologically, we can't always remember each and every detail of the attack. We just know what happened. Speaking of personal experiences, there will be days when I can remember, oh wait, the sky was blue when it happened, and then the next day, I just remember the feeling. So when people try to say, well, your stories aren't adding up, you know, one day the sky was blue, the next day it was orange, I'm like, baby, don't try to devalue my trauma. Because I know what that was like. And I'm sorry if my brain is trying to protect me and trying to cope. So yeah, there may be days where I can't remember what his breath smelled like. But I damn sure can remember the feeling he took from me. And now back to the fact about Black women being less likely to report the sexual violence done against us because of the stereotypes and the way Black women have been devalued. In a previous episode, I stated how in society, Black women are viewed as being aware more sexually than other females. At the age of 5, a Black girl is deemed as a sexual object. She's 5. Like, does that not fuck you up in the mind? That when you will have a daughter, some weirdo's gonna look at her at the age of 5 and think, damn, she grown. Grown enough to assault. If that doesn't fuck you up, I don't know what will. In fact, if that doesn't fuck you up, log out. Log the fuck out for me. Don't even watch it at this point. Because I can tell you will not change and you do not want to change, Black men. Another reason why Black women do not report sexual violence is because of the institutionalized and internalized racism prevent Black women from reporting to the authorities. The complexities preventing Black women from disclosure to authorities include racial loyalty, personal experiences of racism and oppression, a perception that racism is more threatening to the cultural group's well-being than sexism, and prior negative experiences with the legal system. I'm gonna speak on the part about racial loyalty. Black women are and will always be the most loyal race. If you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. You're watching the wrong show. But Black women continuously, time and time again, we have laid down our lives. We have fought for Black men. We have protested. We have done the whole shebang at the detriment of our own health to protect black men, to protect the community. And that sense of wanting to protect, that sense of being the strong black woman is again hurting us. Because we don't want to be the reason to put another black man in jail. I mean, hell, they're not going to believe us anyway. So why put the community through that shame, the community through that pain? And back to the legal system and the negative experiences that black women have faced with the legal system. Historically, it has failed us. Hashtag Breonna Taylor. Hashtag Sandra Bland. I mean, the woman, Sandra Bland, was already dead. And because they didn't want to attend to her and treat her like a human being, they taped her eyes open to take a mugshot of her. She was dead. Women that still to this day haven't gotten justice for the unfair killings done in the hands of police. A 2016 report by the U.S. Department of Justice found that the Baltimore Police Department engaged in biased and potentially unlawful discrimination against women victims of sexual assault in the majority black city. So I'm going to rephrase that. A 2016 report found that in the Baltimore Police Department, those motherfuckers were biased towards black female victims of sexual assault. They didn't believe us. Again, because black women in society we have been devalued so much and just looked at, sexual beings from the day we are born. That's not okay. And to make things even worse, black women, we have developed this culture of silence when it comes to sexual assault as a response to the racist society in which we live in. I mean, prime example, all throughout the 19th century, rape laws were race specific. They didn't even consider us. Hell, they didn't even recognize black women as victims. So when people really want to sit here and say racism is over, no the fuck it's not. If you're not black, if you're not a person of color, shut the fuck up, because you don't understand. You will never in your life understand the effects of racism. Because it's not just limited to the color of my skin. It's not just limited to what I'm allowed to do with my hair. It's not just limited to what I'm allowed to do in the workplace, what job I'm able to hold, what position I'm able to hold, what house I'm able to buy, what neighborhood I'm able to live in. It also determines if I get believed as a woman, amongst many other issues. What school my kid can go to, what grants my child can get, what grants my community can get, and also if I'll ever get justice for the person who did me dirty, who took a piece of me that I will never get back. I want to say this. Black women, I love you. If no one ever told you, I'm telling you now. My heart is filled with love and joy whenever I think of you. But we gotta stop this idea of being the strong black woman every other day. Because the strong black woman, it's really fucking us over. According to Time's Up organization, some black women adhere to the strong black woman expectation, which requires them to display inner strength and minimize the impact of their rape. This cultural perception of strength impacts black women's ability to seek help, to have their adverse experiences taken seriously, and to take the time needed to heal and recover from sexual trauma. Black women, we're strong. That's a fact. It goes without saying. But we don't have to be strong all the time. We can cry and break down. We can seek help. Because us believing that we're strong 24/7 is also holding us back from speaking up. It's also holding us back from recognizing that this person was fucked up. And the most fucked up thing is that most times when people are assaulted, they're assaulted by people that they know. So again, men, when you sit here and say, I don't know anyone that would do that, my bro wouldn't do that, it's probably you. You did that. And you need a change. Why is it that when a woman says no, it doesn't even go in your ear? Y'all keep trying. No means no. If they're drunk, it means no. If they can't walk in a straight line, it means no. If you have to question it, it means no. Stop questioning if Black women are lying about their experiences, because guess what? A lot of victims don't come forward. Because we know you won't believe us. Like, it's bad enough that a white girl might not get believed. But for a Black woman, chances are she's going to be alienated from the community, made as a joke. And one thing I do want to say is that, like, this is a very serious topic. Women, if you have ever in your life lied about being sexually assaulted, shame on you. There is a special place in hell for your ass. I will say that very clearly. Because the sad thing is, I have sadly witnessed a witch hunt being done of people lying about their experiences. Sadly, that experience did trigger me. I did have to go to therapy. Because I'm like, you can't sit here and lie. Because it's bad enough that I won't get believed, but here you are, making it worse for the rest of us. So this episode today is for my men, specifically my Black men. Do better. Y'all have dropped the ball many times. In fact, the ball is lost. That bitch is fucking Atlantis at this point. You can't find it. Mariana Trench. It's gone. But y'all gotta do something. There is no reason why Black women are holding all the burden. We carry everything and we don't complain. We don't break down. But y'all got it. Like, I don't even expect white men to protect. I don't expect any other community to protect us. There is no reason why when a woman says no, it's you don't listen. When a woman says, bro, your homeboy did some things to me, you don't believe it. You get defensive. Like, no, not my homeboy. My homeboy could never. For every single guy that claims that they don't know anyone, that nah, my homeboy could never, I don't know any assaulters, baby, maybe you need to look in the mirror, because maybe it's you. Because again, there is no reason why I have never in my life met a single female who hasn't experienced sexual assault. Ask yourself that question. How is it that every single woman, a Black woman, has experienced it once in her life? At least once in her life. But yet, y'all don't know no sexual assaulters? Especially on a college campus, you don't know a sexual assaulter? The math is not adding up. Again, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I know this conversation was a heavy one to have. It was difficult. It was rough. I really hope this episode didn't trigger anyone. And I really hope that Black women, if you have experienced this, please, if you can, get help. I tried the whole strong Black woman thing for a long time. I did. But then my sophomore year, everything came crashing down on me. I sincerely could not breathe. And I tried to act like it was okay, but it wasn't. I had gotten to the point in my life where I minimized my sexual assault experiences. I mean, from the age of 5. From the age of 5. So when I say that Black women from the age of 5 were deemed as sexually aware, I know what I'm talking about. Because I am part of that statistic. And I carried that burden with me for 15 years. And in those 15 years, it kept happening. Different people. And then sophomore year, it came crashing down. I couldn't hold it anymore. And I went to therapy. And I've been on that journey of therapy and healing for 1.5 years now. And it's been so helpful. Like, now I can speak about it, not cry, not hyperventilate, not break down. I'm thankful. Sincerely, truly, truly thankful. But I will say this. Black men in general do better. But Black men, it be your own fucking homeboys. Check them. Correct them. Don't be silent. Don't be stupid. Say something. For once in your life, protect women. Not just white ones, not just the ones you're attracted to, not just the red bones, but women. Because God knows the amount of time Black women have saved your asses. Thank you guys so much for watching this installment of the Black Bonnet series. I will catch you guys next week. And I'll also see you guys this Sunday at 7 p.m. with my live panel as we discuss this more. I'm excited to see what Tate and Schwartz have to say about this episode. So definitely send your questions in for what you would like them to speak about. And remember guys, click the link below to get your BB merch and Black women everywhere. I love you. Mwah!